My Gavanen Melonin, and well met indeed. I am Archie Galadirthan, head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer, and welcome back to the same as we continue on as Angmar. Our force and most of our army is now grouped up in two key locations. The Witch King of Angmar leads a relatively good army, not the best, could be better, is not really all that great. But anyway, he is held up here between the Borderlands and Arthedain proper, which is what that should be called rather than Arthedain, given the size of actual Arthedain. And he's hoping to fight off Dralin any moment now. That will very much be a big deciding battle in the north until the dwarves come at us again with a giant army. But in the south, we are besieging Bree.
My lord.
Lord Hunvorn the Chivalrous, our faction heir, I believe, still? Yes, he is in the south there, and he's got a relatively good army. There's quite a bit of trash in there, but there are good units scattered around our armies now. We are also sending troops back to Angsul in order to bolster the defences so that when Captain Dwalin arrives, we might be able to hold it off. Speaking of Arthedain, something to just discuss modding related, hasn't been done yet but is going to be done and has been requested many times, and that is to finally map the borders of both Arthedain and Cardolan to their actual lore-accurate boundaries. Now, names are very unlikely to change, but what this will mean is that Arthedain units will now be available in a lot more regions, and Cardolan units will also be available in more regions. Originally, they did intend to be set to their historic boundaries, but then we felt that maybe that gave the units were then available in too many regions. But then as time has gone on, and variety is very much the name of the game now, and given that the Dunedain now aren't even restricted to purely Dunedain lands, we felt that it didn't matter as much to have them as restricted as they were. So if you're familiar with the maps of Middle-earth, for example, Arthedain is not actually just this region that's basically on screen. It stretches all the way to the coast, and it stretches all the way down to essentially the Tower Hills. And there's argument to suggest that it even goes down to basically about here, with the Brandywine, which I believe is this river here, separating Arthedain from Cardolan, which would mean that Cardolan now extends from what is basically Bree, and it's debatable whether Bree's in Arthedain, Cardolan, or possibly to an extent Ruidau, although Ruidau really ends with the Weather Hills. But Cardolan will run from Bree all the way down now to the lands down here, which has a special name, doesn't it? Is it Siduri? Oh, I can't remember that town. Anyway, so all of that down to the Gwathla River will be Cardolan. Now, Ruidau will remain relatively unchanged, however, focusing mostly on the Camath-Bryn, Morvatarth, Noffer-a-Claw, these kind of regions. Will likely remain as Ruidau, and as ever, the Weather Hills will be with all three, as it was historically. Part of all three, or rather, they all laid claim to it. Not all of them actually had ownership of it, but they all claimed it. Anyway, enough of a little bit of a modding and historical talk. We must end the turn, actually, and see if we get whooped. I imagine we will be attacked, possibly at Bree. I'm not entirely certain if they'll bother with it, but the dwarves, I'm interested to see what the dwarves do. But Captain Grep is besieged. Now, he actually has a solid army. Captain Grep, rather, is attacking us, Captain Ninith. We outnumber them, and I think we actually could win this. We might have a man of the hour moment here. Let's dive in.
Yes, my lord.
Now, what I was previously doing in terms of the videos was doing 2 DaC recordings each week, so either canned or Angmar. And then, obviously, Warhammer and Skyrim are the other 2 videos. But when I was doing a lore podcast, or a lorecast, I was replacing one of the DaC videos with it. But what I think I actually will do, given that the Warhammer videos are only a stopover and are also going to not... I can't imagine we've got more than maybe 10 episodes of that left, if I'm honest. I'm going to replace those each week. So when there is a lorecast to show, it will replace the Warhammer video, not a DaC video. So that we can push DaC ever closer to getting Imladris ready. I need to do some more things to complete Imladris. Most of the other guys have finished everything they wanted to do with Imladris, and I am holding us up. So I need to get on that, really. Right, we're going to go up there, I think, and see how well we can hold. It's just going to be a very straightforward battle line today, if we're honest. They do have some cavalry, but not much, I don't think. Now, they want to be in defensive mode, but you guys don't. I also think maybe perhaps we can put the... If we make a line of those, Put the Hillmen as a sort of reactionary force. Alright, start firing as soon as you can. Waste no time. Oh, that's their cavalry there, isn't it? So no, indeed, their cavalry is not going to be a problem here. You guys turn and face. Get the men of Rudau to run down. Perfect. Alright, they're charging their cavalry, but it's not going to do anything. He says, hopefully, 177. Well, they lost a few, but nothing too severe. Nearly 10% of the enemy has died to our arrow fire alone at the moment. But the enemy, let's not forget, has archers of their own. But we can counter that. Now start shooting. Hopefully those journeymen. The journeymen. Ah no, hit the gatekeepers. Hit the gatekeepers. They're mixed in with the journeymen, which means you'll hit all three. Journeymen are low armor, low defense. They die easily to arrow fire, but they do a lot of damage, so it's good to try and target them with archers. Now we've got pikemen on both sides there, so we need to flank that really.
Our foolish
oh no, our captain just got sniped on the edge.
The battle is very much only half the enemy force.
Well, that's a damn shame. Ah, but the enemy is getting slaughtered as hoped and expected. It's a shame really, because they look so damn good, don't they? Oh, even the journeymen look awesome. I'm sorry that we have to kill you. Who are they targeting with their bolts? Are they shooting our men of Rudau in the back? Ah, the farmhand pikemen are routing. Next. Oh, our archers are... Those merchant cavalry are actually doing rather well. Right, you bring down those 9 annoying running buggers.
If we continue like this,
that's 2
we
more
will
down.
smash the enemy.
Oh, it's over. It is over. The enemy's running. We have to just wait for them to pass. Don't fire at will. And don't run away. Whoops. You're only going to be shooting our men in the back. Oh, we'll win as soon as that last unit makes it past. They actually ran away. You don't see that as much nowadays. When the AI knows that its victory is completely lost and it actually just commands its forces to leave.
Behold,
and we claim the victory. 299 men, including Captain Nineth.
Let all who remember this day, remember it as the day of our most glorious victory.
Highlighting, I think, there, really, that Angmar's middle-tier units are already sneaking away from Bree's greatest offerings. Now, of course, if the gatekeepers were engaging us in melee rather than with their crossbows, they might have actually stood a better chance, possibly. Gatekeepers are devastating in melee, particularly against lightly armoured units like Angmar infantry. But there weren't enough of them to make their crossbows do any damage, really. Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, they're not too happy with us, are they? They've just sent in their answer there. Hold on, what's going on here? Where did these dwarves come from? Captain Thrur. He brings Firebeard warriors, Longbeard phalanx, and Broadbeam marksmen against our conscript hillmen and Iron Crown longbow. No, that's such a good unit. Can you withdraw?
Fall back and
ah, yes you can. Ah, now the battle to decide the ages. I will be so pleased when we defeat these dwarves. Dralin. Now, we actually outnumbered them. That's good to see. It's not a good enough advantage, though. Not a big enough margin. There are 3 siege units, which the Witch King will deal with. We've got some Tomb Protectors in their resplendent golden armour. They're going to be a bit of a trouble. Gabilgathol Guard, they're pretty good. But there is actually quite a lot of trash in here. There's Dwarven Labourers, Militia, more Militia, the basic Eredluan Pike unit. It's not as good as it first appeared. Neither is our army, though. Conscript, Rudau Pikes, 2 units of those Orc Hunters. But then otherwise, actually, it's a fairly good army.
Escaping us now. Attack!
The trick to our victory, of course, will be the killing of their leader. And the Witch King will be able to deal with him. Ah, and there he is. Someone suggested the Witch King was a Silver Surfer. And if memory serves, actually, going all the way back to the release of version whatever we're currently playing, is it 3? The Witch King, I think, was a Silver Surfer in the very original release. And then we tried to publicise as much as possible that if you had downloaded Divide and Conquer version 3, within the first 2 days of it going live, I think it was 2 days, it might have been the first week actually. Indeed, it was the first week, sorry. If you downloaded it within the first week of it going live, then you needed to download it again. Because we very sneakily fixed a load of the minor bugs and then re-uploaded the same file. So ModDB wouldn't have updated to say, hey, there's a new file, because we didn't want to call it version 3.1 or whatever like that. So we just didn't let ModDB notify you all that it had changed. But it did mean that if you downloaded it within that first week and you never downloaded it again, you almost certainly will have had bugs in your build. So you would have needed to be re-downloaded. And for, I believe that is where the Witch King was a Silver Surfer. So that is how you would have gotten rid of him, by re-downloading it. So anyway, this is obviously the version that was released sometime after, so our Witch King, or rather my Witch King as present here, is not a Silver Surfer. Also, I just set up my entire army over there, only to realise that this is a much better hill. Which was folly on my part. Let's chuck these into wide mode then. Finally, I concede. Perhaps it is a better way to start. Right, we'll have the Men of Ruidar on that side, expressing their hatred for the dwarves in flank attacks. We'll have the orcs down the middle throwing javelins, and then wargs, you're going to come in and support from that hill along with the cavalry. Now, I want to get the Witch King in behind and kill the siege as soon as possible. I'm not moving the camera very well here, am I? There we are. Right. Oh, interesting. They've started up there. You guys can all group together. We'll swivel around a little bit, but not too much, I don't think. Right, Witch King and wargs. Get yourselves up there. Sharpish. We will pivot. Move the army. Units around, and then archers as well. Right, Men of Ruidar, if you pull yourselves back a bit, you might be able to run down the hill into them and act as proper flanking forces. Which type of wargs are these? Ah, archers, perfect. Feel free to shoot them already, Jesus. Right, there's a catapult unit that we can use. Oh, look, all of the sieges at the back. In fact, no. We'll use all three of you in a glorious charge. Oh, but you're all going to get caught up there. Alright, that'll do. Ceasefire. Shoot them. Ceasefire. Charge them. Witch King. Charge them. Oh, I think we lost a unit. No, it looks like the bulk of our army has survived the siege. Yes! That's brilliant. It cut the siege out of the game. Who's that coming back to meet us? The Tamundahar nobles. No way.
The battle is very much in our favour. Victory will
Pull the
be
wargs
ours.
out. Witch King, how you diddling? You got them all? Perfect. Then your next target aligns itself in the middle of our screens there. Archers are ready to fire. That front line is prepared. Go into defensive mode. You pikes down. Javelins fire at will. Wargs, run yourselves over there. Right, Witch King, I want a single charge. Bring him down.
Our foes appear to be gaining the upper hand in this battle.
Go on, get him, get him, get him. Someone knock him on the head with a mace. Let his ball. He's got a target on the top of his head. Just bonk him on the head. Quickly, the pikes are coming. Alright, run out. We'll go again. We'll go again. We'll do it live. Oh, they met our men of Rudas. We're not going to be flanking anytime soon, sadly. But what we can do is support them with cavalry charges dedicated into their backsides.
Pray something changes in the course of battle, for defeat seems almost certain.
Hit him again. Azagard's Tomb Protectors and Odin Militia. How are we so outnumbered by their forces? Perfectly charged through the centre there. Hit into him. Terror of the Witch King. I have no idea what it does. But I do gather from other users that it's meant to be very, very powerful. Now, the only reason they're putting up such a fight at the moment is because their general's a very good general. Which is why the Witch King needs to kill him. Right, you are not doing anything down there. I'll curl you around. Likewise, the pikes aren't doing anything. Go on. Well, that's the nobles taken out anyway. They can just... He'll die shortly. Go smaller, go smaller. Wargs move down. Come on, we need him dead. Oh, and the damned siege is back. I thought we took the siege out. Azagard's Tomb Protector is not the unit we want to be targeting there. There's pikemen moving in on the Witch King. You can hit those militia though. Come on, how have we not killed those labourers yet? And how have you not killed him yet? Your armour piercing and everything.
Good tidings.
Oh, yes, thank goodness for that. He's gone. He is gone. They'll be wavering. We should be able to break them now. Yep, they're going. This is where the battle turns. I am going to need you to go and shut down the Dwarven Catapult, though. And the Ballista once you get there. The Firebeards didn't run. Damn it.
We've lost half of our men.
Archers, you're going to have to get into melee, so stand you ready. Pikemen, move out. Yep, kill the Ballista crew. I wasn't paying attention with those other wargs, was I? And they've gone down. Right, charge into them. You, come and get involved. The mass routing we were hoping for appears to have not occurred.
Pray something changes in the course of battle, for defeat seems almost certain.
Are you guys finished? Yes, you are. Come together, hit them. The other warg unit's now dead, aren't they? Yeah, everything up there is basically dead. The Witch King is not yet gone. Where can we best use him? Oh, I didn't zoom in. There.
Defeat seems almost certain.
Good charge, fellows. Good charge.
Only half the enemy force remains.
Another solid charge from the Witch King. The dwarves are putting up standard dwarvish fight, though. I don't think we are going to win this. I think we're going to have to retreat. Even the Terror of the Witch King is not doing anything. Yep, let's just get the Witch King out. Oh, we can just exit, can't we?
Our enemies may have won this battle.
Oh, they only lost like half their number. And we lost 2,000. So, It would appear he killed 413 on his own, though. Goodness gracious. It would appear very much that the Dwarven forces, when they're led by a general, are incredibly powerful. And even when that general then dies, if you've only got trash to try and mop them up with, you're not going to do anything. Even though we lost, though, we still weakened them substantially. They lost half their number.
They will pay for that.
And we will make money now, so we'll be able to reinforce our army or rebuild it.
But the men are spent.
And they've curled away from Angsul, so we should be able to pull our forces back and hold there. But we do need Goberdrine back. Oh, we're attacking Goberdrine, aren't we? I should have attacked it just that turn, and I didn't. That was foolish. We could hold in Goberdrine maybe then instead. Because it's got a pathetic little garrison.
Yes, my lord.
And we've got a general. Ah, Mordor have joined the invasion. The Wooden Realm and Mordor are at war with each other, and the Wooden Realm and Moria have declared a truce. Remember, all of this happening in the north, though, is a stalling tactic.
Your will, my lord. My lord.
The real fight is in Bree.
Yes. Orders. My
Send that lot back to Carndom. Do you have any more units for me? Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
As you wish. An order. Move.
Get that lot, as I say, back to
We can go
Carndom.
no further today.
Barkele, can you give us... not conscripts. I want those. Shadoon, change your target to Barkele. We need an army that doesn't have lightweight Rudar units. I also need to actually pay attention to our units that are supposed to flank and not let them die. That helps. You can't win them all. Oh, we've got a proper army coming from Carndom. I think we should be alright. We should be fine. We have quite the garrison in Numinas as well. Where on earth has that come from?
An order.
Is that our province? No. Oh, yes it is. Yes it is, yes it is, yes it is.
Yes. Orders.
A Sabian.
Yes.
Ah, watchtowers are too expensive.
An order.
Equal to a Numinas. The dwarves are just up on the hill there, looking down on our holdings. Disappointingly. Covetously, you might say.
Your will, my lord.
Right, you fellows did really rather well.
My lord. By
Yeah, but you're going to get massacred by that Breland army. So,
March to exhaustion.
pull back to him, Ladris. We'll try and retrain you. And now what we shall do is take the town of Goberdrine.
To battle.
And we'll use basically just our general to win this. So much back and forth on the north. But at least the northern Dunedain are gone. I think our army at Bree will be able to really cripple Bree. And the
For the
dwarves,
moment, the fortune
I think
of
we can at
battle
least
goes
hold them in
our
a
way.
stalemate.
Let's
Ever
pray
so
it
slightly.
remains as such.
Gaining. Gaining and gaining and gaining, inch by inch. We'll push across to their land. Right, as I say, I don't think we need either of you, so don't get yourselves involved. It's a shame we don't have any archers. But we might actually want to use you, because we're going to have to run up that hill. He's going to stand atop that hill. And look, they're in our own town. He's using our own town against us. Dirty. There they are. Shining Dwarven mail. Chain, rather than plate, though. Blessedly. They're not going to bother with the gate. But then there aren't any towers to shoot us anyway, so why would you bother with the gate? Take the defensive hill.
The battering ram is in place. It'll not be long before our enemy's defenses fall.
We'll send the general in first, and then we'll
Our men
flank
have
with
done
the support.
well. The gates have fallen.
Right, general. You're walking to there. Support, you're walking to
Our
that side.
soldiers have proved their worth today. The enemy's walls belong to us now.
Look at the absolute beauty of the Erud Luin flag now. Nothing fancy, nice and simple. The blue mountains reflected in the colour, and the dwarves' heraldry reflected in the canton. Nice. Much better than it was before with all the gold lettering on it. I think he's called Badwila, this fellow. He's looking a little aged, so this might be the end of him, really. This might be get the better of him. Oh, wow, he's actually really... Of course, there's only 53 of them. He's outnumbered 3 to 1 if we take him up there alone. I think we are going to need the support. Get them on the hill. The gate, I noticed, is not closed, though, which usually means you've got a unit stuck behind it. Can also... Oh, no, of course, we smashed through it, didn't we? Idiot. I noticed the way that they came through with stragglers, and it's normally because someone gets stuck at the gate and doesn't make their way through. But we'll see how well the Witch Knights do first. Charge yourselves in there, lads. Give them all you have. Let's turn that off, make it a bit more scenic. Oh, they didn't even do the charging animation. It was disappointing when they do that. Just as our reinforcements get to the top of the hill, where we should be able to form a sort of...
The battle is very much in our favour. Victory will be ours.
Triangle around them. We've lost 1, and they've lost 20 or so. You know what? Just go for it.
Our men have slain the enemy.
Oh, the enemy captain's gone down.
His troops will lose their will to fight.
It is almost already over. There are dwarves milling around in the middle though. Axes and swords of Angmar, cracking dwarven steel and shield. The dwarves, very simple looking shields. The anvil and hammer of Durin emblazoned upon the crest. Our Witch Knights have lost 10.
Bloodied. They have lost half their men.
Our Angmar infantry are taking losses, but the enemy is getting slaughtered. As the spare men in the middle are being pushed out onto the edges, we're breaking through.
Have taken control of the city.
And we outnumber them so greatly now. The city will fall before they do. One single man commanding everyone in the centre there. Stand your ground, lads. He's moving himself forward to take a Witch Knight down. But the large shield of the Witch Knight stands him in excellent stead. As the last group of the dwarves falls. The banners of Angmar raised above the town of Goberdrein once more. The last dwarf falls. Oh, he got a good swing on an Angmar infantry there. But a little poke from his fellow from the side. Swipes from all around. Oh, he took the man down though. Very disappointing. Oh, there are 2 of them left. Oh, well done, dwarves. The captain falls. And at times 6 speed, eventually they fall. Goodness, how long are these people holding on for?
Be awed by the victory we have won here today.
We lost 64 men. The dwarves, for every 2 dwarves fell, 1 of ours went down. That's disappointing, isn't it? 88 of them killed by the Witch Knights, however. Now that, I believe, without any knowledge or whatsoever, is, I think, a representation of the Númenórean fleet gathered and assembled to either attack Amman or potentially the Númenórean fleet that sailed for Umbar to capture Sauron, which is, in many ways, the same fleet, let's be honest. I think it's a Númenórean depiction, is what I'm getting at.
Glory, honor, victory.
Yeah, we can see again.
Our courage.
I'm only here to fight the Yuggle.
Captain Dalden. The scars. Right, we've taken it back, yes, but we will lose it almost immediately, which would be a waste of Beduila. The Witch King has no second at the moment.
Yes, my lord, your will, my
So, in a controversial move, I'm going to pull our garrison out
We shall continue tomorrow.
and basically give it back to the dwarves. We might as well increase the tax rate here for a time. Get at least some money out of it.
my lord, your will.
As we gather our army at Angsul, we should be able to then strike out and hit the dwarves. We gather a relatively good army as well, hopefully. How long has Bree got left? 5 more turns, but there's a lot of armies there.
It will be an honor defeating you.
And there's that large one there that we know of. But anyway, just give it an end turn. Let's see what happens. The Bree army attacks. Well, that is going to have to be where I end this episode then, for better or worse, depending on however long it is, because I don't have time to fight that one. That'll have to be the focus of the next episode. the battle for Bree. Captain Marmaduke with 1,242. He's the one who is actually attacking us, and he is on the northern side. Interesting that they've left Frodo out. We're probably going to have to fight twice, I think. First of all, taking down Marmaduke's relatively elite army for a Bree army, and then Erling's relatively poor army. And then Frodo, I imagine, will come in after that. Hoonvorn's 3,159 men will be put to the test. But for now, that is going to be all. So thank you very much for watching, if indeed you have. I do hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as I've enjoyed fighting it, despite our losses. And until we speak again, dear friends, Navarre den Pedamad Melunin, and farewell.